Hi, I just wanted to show you this new counter mesh that I've created. So this is probably the world's most resilient counter. This can be a step counter or a movement counter or anything. And basically every time it senses movement, it adds 1. And there's a little animation on the screen. Basically it's got 10 positions and it goes around every time you move it. If you press, I must say that this Velcro strap itches. If you wear it on your wrist, you need something to protect your wrist. Let's take that off. So this is so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and it beeps high on the 10th. You don't have to have it beeping. And if you want to read out what the value is, you press the B button. 1870. Smile. This is the clever bit. So if I unplug the microbit doesn't have any memory when you power it off. Plug it back in again. Press the B button. 1870. How does it do that? Well, if you notice behind me, my little wizard, if I shake this bit, you'll see the animation changing on the wizard's hat. And I also have another bit here, which also changes. And another one over here, which also changes. In fact, I have 8 of these around my house at the moment in various positions, and they form a radio mesh. So if any one of them powers down and powers up, it says, I've lost my number, what's the biggest number that you know of? And they all transmit their numbers, and the biggest one wins. So you can do all sorts of things, like you can reset the microbit and power the microbit off, and you can shake it really hard so the batteries bounce and it resets and it still retrieves the number. So the other thing that I have is this microbit here plugged in via the serial port, which you'll see also responds. Now the great thing about make code is that if you have something connected via the serial port, you can send data to it. Let's show data. So you'll now see the number changing live. 172, unplug the microbit, plug it back in again, start shaking it again, it continues from where it got to. Now because this is on the Mac, I can zoom into the screen to a reasonable size. That's about the biggest I can get it, I think. So you can see from a distance what the number is. I'll unplug my microbit, plug it back in again, starts counting from where it got last time. So that's quite resilient. It can be used. Oh, the other thing that I tried is if you unplug this serial microbit, obviously it says it's been ejected, plug the serial microbit back in again. It does take a few seconds to recover, but it does actually recover the count. So even if on the day when we're using it, this microbit resets or becomes disconnected, or in fact, if you stop this running on make code, turn your laptop off, turn your laptop back on again, press that show button, then it will recover the number. So that's quite resilient. It can be used for a number of different use cases. You don't have to have the wizard behind you, but I thought it just would make the visuals quite good. I've designed the little animation, by the way, so that the little arrow you can see from a distance. So if you deployed these around a room or a building and you were looking at a distance to see whether the thing was counting okay, you could see whether it was counting, because every 10 you get this little animation. So that's 9 and that's 0. So you can see from a distance that the thing is spinning round, so whoever's wearing this or using this will get the same animation on their screen. In fact, the code on all the microbits, so the code on the serial microbit, the code on the mesh router microbit, and the code on the movement sensor microbit is the same. There's a couple of settings that you can set when just before you download it to say whether it counts and whether it beeps. So you can build lots of different things with that. And the other thing is in the on start block you can change the radio frequency, so the channel that it's on. You can also change the radio group. The frequency is better to change because that's an actual different radio frequency in the frequency band, and you can have multiple of these working. And the final thing to say about these mesh bits is they are a true mesh. So if you have your laptop mesh bit or one of these mesh bits that's out of range of the counting mesh bit, as long as it's in range of any one of those microbits, it will receive the message. So what you can do is you can extend the range. So not only can you deploy lots of these to give you good coverage of an area, but you can also extend the range so that if this thing that's counting moves out of the range of the thing that's logging it on the screen, then the mesh bits will send the message onto each other. And they're quite intelligent in that they only send messages if they need to. And if for any reason a mesh bit resets for any reason, because you drop it on the floor or the battery goes flat, you just put a new battery on and it says, oh, I've lost my number, and the rest of the mesh communicates and updates its number. So it's pretty resilient.